Hey everybody, I've been a little bit of a slacker on video and everything's going on with the cabin. Kind of be honest, with the coronavirus going on and with the type of work I do, it's been very busy. I work at a place that we're trying to help everybody. So at the cabin here, I took a couple days off just because I could do some social distancing, and we got the walls up. I went with tongue and groove from Lowe's. It's a blue stain pine damaged tongue and groove pine, and it's worked out really good. I'm real happy with it. I'm going to put a poly that's water based on it. I've got the cabinets up, so I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough and some of the other things going on and a couple of features that I'm going to add. So you see the panel here. I've cut some paneling here that will give me future access to the panel and the wiring. If I ever need to run a new wire, I can get to it. We've got the solar board up that's been up there for a while. I've got access panels cut in it. It's sheetrock. And I say it's sheetrock, it's actually Luan board that I put sheetrock mud over it. I hate sheetrock. I've got lung damage. That's another reason I'm up here at the cabin. Trying to do some social distancing, and sanding I will not do. So I get mud and I just go back and forth, and then I'll paint over it, and I don't have to cut sheetrock and breathe silica, which is just an issue I have going on. So with the window trim, just trimmed it out, got some boards put for the windowsill. These are hickory cabinets from Lowe's. I try to put them over every window since it's a tiny home cabin. And then I've gone with Wainscot here, and that helped me get my budget stretched out a little bit further. And then the board that you see here is actually another board that got on the table saw and just ripped it, and that gave me some trim pieces. Worked out really good here. You can see the trim piece here, and I've got the windows trimmed out. Got another cabinet, and then trim this out. And I don't go for a 45 cut. Those boards, I know they're kill dried, but they'll eventually shrink, and then you'll get a gap. I just don't like to look at that. This is a bifold door that I got off Amazon, framed it in. Then I went with sheetrock here for the propane heater. This is just for backup. These add a lot of moisture to the cabin, but you can see what it looks like finished where I got the sheetrock, went back and forth on it, then trimmed this out. So another thing we've done here, the bunk bed's going to go here, so this is going to cover a lot of the wall up. So there was no reason to put tongue and groove there when you're not going to see it at all. Here we go back to the tongue and groove. You can see that I still got some window trimming to do. And let me show you a feature here. So let me back off, show you what's going on there. So what I've done, I've gotten 3 boards and put a Z brace on it. And this chase that you see here, that's going to be my plumbing chase. I'm going to have it on hinges where I can open, close it. The top part will be a shelf for more storage, but I haven't done the plumbing yet. We haven't had a need for it yet because of the spring water that we have and using a composting toilet. But I am going to go to it with the 12-volt on-demand pump. So also, if I ever have a leak or I got to retrofit anything with the tongue and groove walls, I don't have to go back in here and reinvent the wheel. So right there, I'll have my PEX tubing, and it's going to work out really good. I'm going to put a header right here for the cold and the hot, and it's going to work out really good. So you can see we got the wall there. What I haven't done, I'm waiting on the ceiling. I'm going to do it last because, one, I want to make sure the wiring's working correctly. And this beam here, I'm going to get some tongue and groove that's left over and create 2 false beams here to give it more of a log home look. And then let's go in the bathroom. Already got it laid out pretty good. So there's a cabinet that I got off Amazon. Excuse me, I just hit something. Here will be the on-demand hot water heater that's got a shower head. It's used for camping. I'm going to vent the heat out the side of the cabin, and there's the shower where we can use it. Right there's the shelf that we use. I'll show you here just in a minute how that works. There's the composting toilets. So I've gotten some comments on this. Let me go back to it. That's for number 1. That's for number 2. It's not a his or a hers. If you mix the 2 together, that's where you get your stink. A little bit of number 1 can go in the number 2, but you don't want to make it the home for it. So here's some more of the the boards that I ripped just to come up with some trim pieces. It worked out really good and really stretched my dollars out. And then here's where the washer is, and here's where the dryer is. I haven't hung the dryer yet. It's real small. It's for efficiency apartments in Asia. Hope it doesn't have a virus. Haha. So I've left this open just so I'll have some protection for the heat that'll be coming out of it. And then up here we've got more tongue and groove. So let me show you how the shower works. I'm grabbing this car bowl. See the spigot? You fill it full of hot water, and I'll show you that in a minute. Sorry. Two things at once. So this is the tank. It's got a little spigot. Open the spigot, hot water comes down. You mix the cold and the hot, and I'll show you where we get the hot water right now. Got another cabinet above the door. I thought I'd make it claustrophobic in here. It definitely does not, and it just adds more storage. I'll come with some shelves here. And here's more of what's going on. So what this is you see it's two storage buildings butted up. I've got this temporarily open. I've got to build a header on the other side of the cabin. But this is what's going on. So another project I've got, you see all this wood here. I've got a lot of canned food now due to the virus. I'm going to come up with some wall storage where the cans will dispense new, old, and that way I can keep my inventory fresh. And I'll show you where we're getting hot water. This thing's worked out phenomenal. I mean, there's a video coming out on it. So this is a tank that's tied into the flue. Pour water in the top, spigot at the bottom. It's not pressurized, so we got constant hot water now. We'll fill those tanks up and then take it to the shower. So that's basically it. I want to show you what we have going on, and there'll be more work. I wish I'd have done a better job at filming all this, but we're very busy at work right now due to the virus, and go film or put it on the wall. We put it on the wall, and then I got to go back to work and hopefully help the situation that we're all in right now. So I appreciate you watching, and this is just a quick video of what we got going on, and I'll try to keep filming with everything going on in the world right now. But maybe it'll be a good distraction for everybody. I appreciate you watching, and God bless. Hey everybody, I want to show you what I'm doing here. It's just look at this pile of wood here. I'm getting kind of tired of looking at it. I've got other projects to do, but I'll be honest, I'm just tired of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put up a wainscot board here. Then I'm going with tongue and groove here that's stained. It's blue stained pine. I got it at Lowe's. It's wood that's distressed. It's been out in the woods. The beetles killed it, and then it rotted for a little bit and got some blue stain going on it. You can see it here. And I'm going to put some poly on it. And what I'll do is I'll get some 2x4s and come through here. That way I can nail the wainscot up. Here's something I've been contemplating. So I've got these receptacles. I'm not the world's best carpenter. It seems like 2 times out of 3 I get it right, and then I cut one out, and then man, I'm just off. So I'm going to go outside and show you a product that I'm going to use that's going to hopefully make up for my mistake that I know eventually I'm going to make. So let's go outside and I'll show you some of the tools I'm going to use. So here's the wainscot that I'm going to put up. You can see it's just cheap old pine, but what I want to do is that wainscot will be on the bottom and the tongue and groove will be on the top. It'll break it up a little bit for me, and I'll get more mileage out of my wallet, so to speak. If I went tongue and groove just all over the cabin, I think one, it'd be a little overpowering, and another, it's just expensive. And this is a cabin, it's not the Taj Mahal. So here's some of the tools I'm going to use. I'm not a rich man, so I'm going with skill for my jigsaw. Not top of the line, and everybody online, oh, you should have bought. Yeah, well, if you think I should have bought something better than that, you're going to really love this. This is a Harbor Freight Drill Master circular saw. And granted, I would have liked to bought a better, more expensive, higher quality saw, but to be honest, I looked at other saws, and this has the lowest amp rating. And I'm going for low amps because I am going to be using solar power to drive these tools. Battery packs are nice, but it seems like after you get done using them, your projects are kind of winding up for a little bit, and then you go back and you need it for something piddly. The batteries are dead, and that just aggravates me. So I'm using cheap tools, and if the batteries go dead, I'm not going to cry over it. So for cutting around boxes, sometimes I get it right, and sometimes I don't. And I'm not going to be the guy on YouTube that tells you, oh, I'm the best carpenter in the world. I'm not. I'm an electrician. So these are called old work boxes. They have a toggle on them. So if I miss my measurement, I'll use this box and place that on this Wainscot paneling, and I can move on, and nobody will ever know that I messed up because the plate's going to cover it up. I keep a handful of these around, that way when I'm... So I got the board dried fitted, and show you what happened here. I nailed this when I got it. The box is cut in great. I've got it right to the door edge. That'll save me some trim. I've got it right underneath the window. Now I missed this one, and I mean, I missed it by a 1/4 inch. I could play with it and get a jumbo plate to cover it up, but I just took the nail-on box off the wall, and I'm going to go with this old work box, and it's going to fit right in there, and nobody will ever know. Third box fit like a glove. That's a lot of boxes, and it's way beyond the code, but I'm a stickler for outlets. I do not want to use an extension cord on anything. I think they cause fires. So next step, I'm going to try out the new nail gun and see how it works. Trimming out this wood. If I miss it, hey, I'll get over it pretty quick. So I'm going to start cutting some boards and doing some measurement, and we'll just keep moving on. So here's the next step. Measured out the boxes. There'll be one box. Here's the second box. I use a unibit, drill a hole in each corner where that box is going to be, and then get the skill saw to it. I've used the nail-on box for the template. Like I said, if I miss it, then I'll get it with the old work box that has the toggles on it. So this is the next step, and this is another Drill Master $16 drill that I cannot kill. I've got 2 of them. The things are awesome. So I got the nail gun. Receptacle turned out good. I always start at the bottom and work my way up, and where you can't see it, I'll go and mark and put a tab with a Sharpie. That way I know where my 2x4s are. I don't want to miss because I got wires in the wall. Just butt it up. I'll just keep nailing it up. This thing's amazing. All right, so we got the wainscot all the way down. I put boards in here to have a scab. A scab is something, an extra board that you can nail to. Tongue and groove, right? It's got a beveled edge. Don't put it on the non-beveled edge unless you're going for a certain look. That way you're consistent. And another trick is to make sure that it's in the groove. And then another trick, torpedo level. And never assume that they're all level once you get a couple going. I don't know what happens, but I check every one of them. And we just keep nailing it, and that's it. So I want to show you a little trick, and I kind of messed up here, and I figured my lesson learned I could teach. So, or show you how not to mess up like I did. So I've got the outlet box here. I cut it perfect, put the board up, but I didn't drive it down in the tongue and groove, and I was short. So now I've driven it down. It's nice and firm. Now I'm using this box. I'm going right to the edge where that box is, and that'll give me the nice cut. That'll get that bottom, and I'll have this box cut out. So keep these around. They're very handy. And give you a little how the tongue and groove is looking versus the wainscot. So the wainscot I'm going to stain with vinegar and steel wool, and that'll help match the stain that's been by the beetle, and it'll give me a beetle stain look without spending the money for it. So somebody one day is going to cuss me, but I'm cheap. So I've got this cabinet, and let me back up here a little bit. It's pretty tight right now. I've got this cabinet already hanging. I went and put the cabinets up so I could see how everything's going to lay out in the cabin, because I'm only dealing with like 600 square feet. So I got this tongue and groove. I got the cabinet. I should go ahead and tongue and groove that out and put that cabinet back. I don't want to do that. That's going to save me some boards. It's already mounted pretty good. I'm even trying to trim this out where I don't need that much trim work. So I'm just going to cut and notch this out, and then I'll run a strip of wood here. I won't even run wood here. And I have even painted this a dark brown and not even gone with any trim. Yeah, most people don't do that, but every little bit helps. So I've got the boards up, the wainscot up, but what I've got a little, I'm a little OCD. So I want to make sure these boards will match the eye over here. Well, what I've done, I've got a board up here temporary. I'm going to cinch it up, bring it down, and then I'm going to pop a line and come backwards with the wood. That way, if I have to overlap this a little bit one way or the other, all my boards will match to the eye. I'll put a level on this and come down. So that's one of the tricks of the trade. So we're finishing up the bathroom. It's one thing to put the tongue and groove up, but now I think the make it from nice to better to almost gorgeous is trim pieces. What we're doing, we're ripping the boards that we have. I'll use store-bought trim for the windows, and the rest I'll just get a table saw and cut it myself. But down here, I've got this piece that I need to cut out, and I've used cardboard and I've used all that. I bought one of these tools online. I've got the light down here so you can see it better. You just press it up against it, keep pressing, and that gives me the corner and how I need to cut that board. Doesn't get any easier. Worth it, especially if you suck at cutting wood like I do. Anyway,